This is K.M. Weiland, and you're listening to the 41st episode of the Wordplay Podcast. I stopped by the library yesterday to pick up another mountain of books to research for my World War I novel, The Deepest Breath. Actually, truth be told, I went into the library and got sidetracked by shiny new fiction books, checked out 4 and headed outside. I was halfway into the Suburban by the time I realized I'd completely forgotten my research books, which were my main reason for stopping at the library. So I had to tromp back inside, dig my trusty bibliography list out of my purse, and hunt down an armful of books. Although I love to browse the shelves, I found I can save all kinds of time by writing a list of the books I want, including the author's name and the call number. Apparently I should tattoo the list to the back of my hand if I'm going to keep from forgetting it, though. In other news, I was pleased to receive an email from a reader, Kathleen T. Brandert, who wrote, "We are doing a presentation on writing good stories at an upcoming national conference, and used a piece from your blog, the post on Show and Tell. If you'd like to read this post, you can find it by typing Show and Tell into the search engine midway down the left column on my blog at wordplay-kmweiland, that's weiland.blogspot.com. Are You Sabotaging Your Own Character?, the latest post in the video series on my blog, shows how you may be unintentionally portraying your character in a misleading way, and explains what you can do to correct the problem. You can watch the video on my blog. New videos are posted every Wednesday. Meanwhile, enjoy this week's podcast, Rewriting Made Easy. Everybody who loves rewriting, raise your hand. No takers? Yeah, that's pretty much what I thought. In my experience of 7 novels and hundreds of short stories, rewriting ranks way at the bottom of the writing process, somewhere down there with paper cuts and insomnia. By the time you finish your beautiful story, all you want is to be done, finished, finis. The realization that you may need to go back and redo it is exhausting, to say the least. But it doesn't have to be that way. As I'm discovering with the rewrite of my fantasy Dreamers Come, rewriting can be both fun and easy. Following are some of the tricks I've learned along the way. Let the manuscript sit for a while. Even if you're already aware of the story's problems as you type the end, don't be in too big a hurry to start ripping it apart. Letting the manuscript cool for a while does 2 things. 1, it gives you the mental and emotional distance to view the story objectively. 2, it allows you to rebuild your creative muscles so that you'll have the stamina to tackle a major rewrite. Keep a list. While you're waiting, don't ponder your story, but do let it simmer in the back of your brain. Whenever you're struck with an idea for an addition, or the realization of a scene or character that doesn't quite work, write yourself a quick note so that you'll remember to consider it later when you're ready to get serious. Map your scenes. To gain a better sense of your overall story, including which scenes work and which don't, make a map of your book. Write a numbered list of your chapters and scenes. As you go, consider each scene's importance and effectiveness. Use highlighters to indicate scenes that can be deleted, scenes that can be combined, scenes that are weak, and scenes that are perfect. Make a list of changes to be made. Utilizing your map, create a list of directions for your rewrite. For each scene that needs work, type the number of the chapter and scene. I included a brief description as well to help me immediately recognize what section I was working on. Beside each scene's designation, include a brief description of the work to be done. Delete, combine with previous scene, delete minor character, change reference to main character's siblings, etc. I also included some general instructions at the top of my list regarding changes I wanted to make throughout to my MC's character arc, among other things. Create a new file. Hacking up your precious work of art is always a bit traumatic. So put your mind at ease by saving your manuscript as a new file. That way you lose none of your initial brilliance, and if you decide you like things better the way they were before, you can always return to the first draft. Rejoice that you're perfecting. Rewriting is hard work, but it's also very freeing and satisfying. Raising your story to its full potential, cutting its weaknesses, and beefing up its strengths is exciting. Don't lament the work, revel in it. As E.B. White pointed out, the best writing is rewriting. Thank you for listening to the Wordplay Podcast. To read a transcript of this episode, visit me on the web at wordplay-kmweiland, that's weiland.blogspot.com, and be sure to listen again next week.